Everyone around you is playing a role. Your boss, your friends, your family, the people you respect most, all of them performed, and the terrifying part. So are you. You have been performing for so long you have forgotten what the real thing feels like. There was one man, one singular, brilliant, broken man who saw through every single performance, every mask, every comfortable lie this society tells itself to sleep at night, and they put him in a cell and called him a monster. Today we are going to talk about what he actually saw. Stay, because this is the conversation society has been desperately trying to avoid. Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight is considered one of the greatest films ever made, and almost universally for the wrong reasons. People celebrate the action, the production design, Heath Ledger's legendary, haunting performance, but they treat the Joker's words as the ramblings of a fictional madman. They were not. Strip away the chaos, strip away the theatrics, strip away everything designed to make you dismiss him. What remains is a coherent, devastating, and entirely accurate critique of how human society actually operates. Not how we wish it operated. Not the version we teach children. Not the story institutions tell about themselves. How it actually functions underneath. That is what nobody talks about. Not because it is wrong, because it is right, and the implications of it being right are something most people are not prepared to sit with. If you stay with me for the next 20 minutes, you are going to see this film, this character, and frankly your own life in a way you cannot unsee. You have been warned. Let us start with the most fundamental dark truth the Joker exposes. Everyone is performing. And I do not mean that as a poetic metaphor. I mean it as a precise, observable sociological fact. From the moment you wake up, you begin constructing a version of yourself for public consumption. You choose words carefully. You manage your tone. You present emotions that are appropriate, responses that are acceptable, opinions that are safe. You do it so automatically, so fluently, that it no longer feels like performance. It feels like you. But is it? Think about the last time you were in a professional setting and genuinely disagreed with something. Did you say so fully and directly, or did you package it, soften it, frame it in language specifically designed to make it palatable to whoever held power in the room? Think about the last time someone asked how you were doing. Did you tell them? Actually tell them? Or did you say fine because fine is what the social contract requires, and anything more honest would make the situation uncomfortable for everyone involved? That is the performance. And the Joker in his very first scene, the bank heist, demonstrates something extraordinary. He is the only person in the room not performing. Every other criminal in that opening sequence is playing a role. The loyal partner, the professional, the man with a code. The Joker has no loyalty to those roles. He dismantles them, one by one, with surgical precision, because roles only hold power over you when you believe in them. He stopped believing a long time ago. And when you stop believing in the performance, you start seeing everything the performance was designed to hide. There is a moment in The Dark Knight that is the philosophical heart of the entire film. The Joker is sitting across from a group of Gotham's most powerful men, mob bosses, crime lords, men who have spent their lives accumulating power through violence and corruption. And he says to them, "I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve." Most people hear that as the boast of a villain. It is not a boast. It is an observation. What he is pointing at is that every system of power that has ever existed operates through controlled violence, selective enforcement, and the strategic management of fear. The mob does it crudely, in back alleys, with guns. Institutions do it elegantly, with laws, with optics, with the language of morality and public good. But the mechanism is identical. The Joker is simply the version that has dropped the elegant language. He is what the system looks like with the PR removed. Consider this directly. The rules you are expected to follow, who enforces them, and on whom. Are they applied uniformly, regardless of wealth, status, or connection? Or do they function as a selective constraint binding for those without power, negotiable for those with it? You already know the answer. You have always known. The Joker also says, and this line deserves to be read slowly, nobody panics when things go according to plan, even if the plan is horrifying. Sit with that. Thousands of people lose their homes to predatory financial systems and society functions normally. Families are destroyed by structural poverty, engineered by policy decisions, and the news cycle continues. Entire communities are systematically excluded from opportunity across generations, and the institutions responsible continue to receive public legitimacy. Nobody panics, because it is the plan. But one man acts outside the established order, even when the established order is the source of far greater harm, and suddenly every resource is mobilized, every institution responds, every voice in the room demands action. The Joker did not miss this irony. He made it the entire point. He says, introduce a little anarchy and everything becomes chaos. He was not celebrating chaos. He was demonstrating, through a live experiment, exactly where the system's real priorities lie. Not in justice, not in protection, in order, in the preservation of the existing hierarchy. I want you to think about someone you have loved, not casually, deeply, someone you gave real trust to, the kind that cost something to offer. And I want you to think about how they responded the moment that trust became inconvenient for them. Not in a crisis they could not control, in a moment where they had a choice, where they could have chosen you and chose something else. The Joker understands this with a precision that is almost clinical. He says, don't talk like one of them. You're not, even if you'd like to be. He is speaking to Batman, but he is also speaking to every person who has ever extended genuine care to someone performing the role of caring in return. Because here is the dark truth that nobody in polite conversation will say to you directly. Most relationships are not all, but most are fundamentally transactional. Not because people are evil, but because people are conditioned to offer loyalty in proportion to benefit received, to extend warmth in direct relation to what warmth returns, to perform love when love serves them, and to withdraw it gracefully and with excellent justification when it becomes costly. And you, like most people, were never told this, because telling you this would make you harder to manage, less cooperative, less useful to the systems that depend on your compliance. So instead you were taught that love is unconditional, that loyalty is inherently noble, that if you give enough of yourself patiently, consistently, without demand, it will eventually be returned in kind. And you believed it, and it cost you. The Joker's origin, regardless of which version of it you accept, always involves this exact moment. The moment a person who gave everything to a system, a person, an idea, discovers that the system was never designed to give anything back, that the contract was always one-sided, that the rules applied to him, loyalty, sacrifice, goodness, were never binding on the people he directed them toward. That is the push he describes. Madness is like gravity. All it takes is a little push. He is not describing insanity. He is describing the moment clarity arrives and it is too heavy to carry alone. Most people, when that moment comes, do one of two things. They collapse under it, or they perform as though it never happened and carry it quietly, indefinitely, until it hollows them out from the inside. Very few people do what the Joker did. They look at it directly. So what do you do with all of this? You have seen the performance. You have recognized the architecture. You have identified the transactional nature of most of what you were taught to call love and loyalty. What is the response? The Joker's response is not the one I am recommending. Let me be direct about that. What I am examining is the philosophical core beneath the theatrical expression, the principle, not the method. And the principle is this. He stopped seeking external validation entirely. Think about what that actually means in practice. Every decision most people make professionally, relationally, creatively, is filtered through a question that usually goes unexamined. What will this do to how people see me? What will my colleagues think? What will my family say? Will this make me look weak, or difficult, or ungrateful, or arrogant? That filter is not protecting you. It is governing you. The Joker removed that filter entirely and deliberately. His actions were measured only against his own internal criteria, not against the social mirror that most people never stop consulting. Now the question worth sitting with is this. How many of your choices in the last year were genuinely yours, made from your own values, your own vision, your own honest assessment of what you wanted and what was right? And how many were made, at least in part, to manage the perception of someone else? to keep a peace that should not need keeping, to maintain an approval that cost you more than it was worth. I am not telling you to stop caring about people. I am telling you to stop performing for them. There is a version of you completely intact, already inside you that knows exactly what it thinks, what it wants, what it will and will not accept. That version does not need a committee, does not need consensus, does not need the room to agree before it moves. The Joker called it living without rules. I would call it something simpler, living without performance. And the people in your life who genuinely belong there, the ones who are actually real, will not require the performance from you anyway. They will prefer the absence of it. When you stop performing, something very specific happens, not immediately, not dramatically, not the way transformation is depicted in films, with swelling music and a montage of becoming. It happens quietly. You begin to see people with extraordinary accuracy, not cynically, not with hostility, but with the particular clarity that comes from no longer needing them to be something they are not. When your sense of self is no longer dependent on other people's approval, you stop distorting your perception of them to protect that approval. You see them as they actually are, their strengths, their genuine limitations, their capacity, and their incapacity. And that vision is not painful. It is liberating. The Joker tells Batman, "You complete me." Stripped of the theatrical context, what he is articulating is that he understands his own nature in relation to opposition. He does not need Batman to approve of him, validate him, or understand him. He simply needs the resistance, because resistance is what reveals the shape of a thing. Your critics reveal your edges. Your obstacles reveal your capacity. Your losses reveal what you are actually made of in a way that your successes never can. The transformation the Joker represents is the philosophical one. Beneath the chaos is the transformation from a person who is defined by what others think of him to a person who is defined by what he actually is. That shift changes everything. Your relationship to failure changes, because failure is no longer a public verdict on your worth. It is simply information. Your relationship to rejection changes, because rejection is no longer a sentence. It is a filter, directing you away from what was never genuinely yours. Your relationship to loneliness changes, because solitude is no longer something to be escaped. It becomes the condition under which you finally hear yourself clearly. The Joker was not afraid of any of those things. Not because he was beyond feeling. The performance theory of the Joker that misses the point is the one that reads him as simply not caring. He cared enormously. That is the source of everything he did. But he had transferred that care from the external, from how he was received, perceived, and classified by a world that had already demonstrated its criteria for him, to the internal, to what he actually was. That is the destination. Not chaos, not destruction, not the abandonment of all structure. Authenticity, radical, costly, clarifying authenticity. I want to say something now that I need you to hear without deflecting. Not as a film analysis, not as philosophy, as something directed at you. Specifically, you have been taught your entire life that the way to earn your place in the world is to be agreeable, to be useful, to be accommodating, to be the kind of person that other people find easy to be around. And you have done that faithfully, often at significant personal cost, and somewhere along the way, maybe recently, maybe years ago, you began to notice that the return on that investment was not what you had been promised, that the people who benefited most from your agreeableness were not the ones most committed to your well-being, that the world you were trying to earn your place in had already assigned you a place, and it was not one you chose. That is the moment the Joker is always describing. Not a moment of villainy, a moment of recognition. And here is what I want you to understand about that moment. It does not have to produce destruction. It can produce clarity. The Joker's tragedy, and it is a genuine tragedy, not a celebration, is that the clarity arrived with nowhere to go. No foundation intact. No relationship strong enough to hold the weight of what he had seen. No structure remaining that had not been built on the premise he had just dismantled. So the clarity became chaos. You have something he did not. You have this moment right now before the damage is complete, before everything has collapsed. You have the ability to take the same recognition he arrived at and build with it rather than burn with it. To see the performance clearly and choose. deliberately, what is worth keeping, and what has only ever served someone else's comfort. To see the transactional nature of certain relationships and invest your finite time and trust in the ones that are not. To see the architecture of the systems around you and navigate them with your eyes open rather than with the blind compliance of someone who still believes the brochure. That is what the Joker was pointing at. Not the chaos, the seeing. He was right about what he saw. Where he went wrong was in believing that nothing could be built from the ruins of what he recognized. You are not in the ruins yet. See clearly, build deliberately, and stop performing for a world that was never watching you as carefully as you feared. The dark truth about society that nobody talks about is not complicated. It is simply this. The world is organized to reward performance and punish authenticity until you become too certain of yourself for the performance to be required. That certainty is not arrogance. It is the work of a lifetime. And it starts with exactly this kind of uncomfortable, honest conversation. If something in this video struck something real, drop a comment, tell me exactly which moment hit. I read all of them. If this deserves to be seen, share it, I like it, and subscribe with notifications on, because this channel exists to have the conversations that most people are too comfortable or too afraid to have. The only question that has ever mattered is not what the world thinks of you. It is what you are willing to see when you finally stop looking away. Why so serious? The world rewards performance and punishes authenticity until you become too certain of yourself for the performance to be necessary. The Joker's tragedy was not what he saw. It was that clarity arrived with nothing left to build on. You still have time to build. Stop performing for a world that was never watching you as carefully as you feared.